Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a tutorial video on how to use the Kyosho Racing Factory setup system. Now, the only problem with the setup system is it doesn't come with a manual. You'll have to go on to the internet and Google KRF36102, and usually that would bring up the first link, which will give you the PDF of this manual. So unfortunately they don't give that to you in this packaging, but anyway, now you know. One thing that's important to note is that the tire diameter that you're running on the front end of your car, you want to match that with the plastic or insert on the side here. Watch this little doodad here. You'll see the numbers on the molded on the plastic there. You want to make sure that your tire diameter matches one of these. Now, whichever tire diameter that you have, you want to make sure that that plastic finger is actually up at this point here. Okay, so example, I'm running 41.5 millimeter diameter tires, and I want this finger up at this position here, so it's basically perpendicular to the surface, or parallel to the surface here. And so you want to do the same with how the screws are lined up here, so nice and parallel or perpendicular depending on what reference you're using. And then you want to turn to the back. On the back here you have, there we go, screw holes. You have upper screw holes and lower screw holes. The upper screw holes are meant for the Plasma LM. That is the Le Mans series. You do not want to use those if you are running a competition style 1/12 scale like the Plasma RA, Team Associated, Speed Merchant, Top Racing, you name it. The competition 1/12 scale holes are right here when you bolt on your plastic insert. Okay, so just remember that. And all you have to do is slide around there and put the nut on like so. And throw it on nice and neatly. You don't have to crank it down, you just want to make sure it's nice and snug. And there you have it. You're all ready to go. Now, why is this important? Why is the front suspension, or the front alignment setup system important? Well, 1/12 scale cars are such small cars, so small little changes have a big impact on this vehicle. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the front end alignment is exact. If it's not exact, if it's way off, you're going to have huge handling issues. It could be camber. If your camber's way off, you could be turning in harder than the other corner. Like you just want to make sure that everything is, even left and right. You want to make sure it's precise too. You don't want to eyeball it. Ideally, you want to use a setup system so you can actually visually see the adjustments and what values they are on both sides. And you want to, after a big crash, it happens. You want to make sure that the alignment hasn't been knocked off. You just throw the setup system just to check, and if it is, you just make the required adjustments. So these setup systems, they are a little bit of an investment, but they make things a lot easier when it comes to setting up the front end of your car and just the way that your car will handle in the corner as well. So what does this setup system do? Well, it adjusts. It can adjust your camber. It'll measure your camber. It will measure your toe in, toe out with this gauge here, and it will also measure your steering throw left to right. So an example is, I turn on my radio, I turn on the car. So we have it all set up. The car is, theoretically race ready, where, the steering's on, everything's set up. Now we can check to see what the steering is like. All right, so I got a little bit of toe out there on the one side, and same on the other side, and they're equal both left and right, which is a good thing. And let's check the camber. All right, and when you check the camber, you want to push the suspension down in the middle. There you go. Looking at the increments here, which you can see, the upper portion is increments of 2 degrees, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The lower, it goes by ones, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there you have it. And so what you do is you just eyeball it, make sure that this line here is lined up with, I would use the lower section here, and maybe just line it up with the 1 degree on the bottom there. You want to do it with both sides. And then for steering throw, it's quite easy. What you do is you simply move your steering like so, and you measure the amount of degrees that the servo has turned from its neutral position. So from neutral to this position here, it is 15 degrees, and I do the same on the other side, slide it over, neutral to full lock, and it's 15 degrees on both sides. So there you have it. So it's quite easy to use this gauge. Just like I said at the beginning, you want to make sure that you've measured the tire diameter and that you've placed the insert the correct way on your gauge block here. Okay, I hope this was of help. It's a great little unit, very easy to use. The only hiccup is it didn't have the manual in the package, but well worth it. Nicely done. Go get one. All right, bye-bye.